I wanted to show you a clip that was in my local newspaper when we passed out of Santos, and they called it the petticoat pass out. That was actually it, petticoat pass out.
Headlines like this were acceptable in 1983. That's when Diane Allen became one of the first women to train alongside men at the Army's Officer Academy. Much has improved since then, but she says pockets of discrimination and sexual harassment remain. Diane describes how fellow female officers shared their Me Too moments in a closed online chat group after the Harvey Weinstein scandal broke 3 years ago.
It absolutely broke my heart to see the extent of problems, not just were in the past, but are currently still happening. I would certainly love for the Army to have its Me Too moment and just acknowledge what happened and move on.
Diane says sexist jibes were standard in the 1980s and 1990s. A keen sportswoman, she spent a week teaching male soldiers how to ski on a dry ski slope. They wanted her to come to the bar each night. She said no.
Instead of going to the room which I'd been allocated all week, I just took my sleeping gear and went to the room opposite and found another room that was empty and went to sleep. And I was woken by this dreadful crashing. So I looked out of the window very carefully, so I wasn't seen, to see, and I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but to see young soldiers, 2 or 3 of them, kicking the door down to get into the room that I was supposed to be sleeping in. And I watched this and I could hear them shouting, "Bitch isn't there," and all that kind of stuff. And I just watched. I never reported it.
On another occasion, she was among a group of women invited to see troops put on a show.
Can you talk about the incident in Northern Ireland as well? Because that's pretty shocking for a civilian.
It started really badly in that a chap ran on naked and bit the head off a chicken. And that was...
A live chicken?
A live chicken. So again, you're thinking it's not going to get any better here. It's really not. And it got a lot of nakedness, a lot of sexual innuendo, and you could feel, as you often can, the tension rising. And whereas normally you would leave, you would simply excuse yourself and go. We can't. There's nowhere to go. And as it ended, the men surged at us. They came forward and started to just grab us. So I decked the guy who grabbed me. I hit him hard and I put him down, and we all ran.
The Ministry of Defence said we take allegations of this nature very seriously and have robust measures in place to address any inappropriate behaviour. Sexual harassment isn't tolerated in the armed forces, and we urge anyone who's experienced such behaviour, whether serving or veteran, to come forward. Diane spent most of her 30-year career as a reservist intelligence officer. The highlight, an OBE from the Queen. But she claims being female counted against her when it came to promotion. Diane's now resigned, but she's urging others who face discrimination to make contact.
It's not the whole military that's the problem, it's the feral packs that we can't control and that we don't actually deal with those groups. So when it does go wrong, it can go very wrong.
We say, and I ask you to stay with us, lift up your voices in this great meeting in the heart of England, and to all the world a message: England lives and marches on.